Hi, I'm Ricky Ontiveros, and in this episode, I will be covering the 5 factors that are used to calculate your FICO score. Let's get to it. This is number 1, the payment history. Now, this accounts for 35% of the total factors that are used to calculate your FICO score. And what does that mean? That means that if you have a payment for either a mortgage, credit cards, any type of financing that you've received for any stores, or maybe car payments, you want to ensure that you're making these payments on time. So if your payment is due on the 5th, make sure you pay it on the 5th or before. Let's just say you end up forgetting that you have to pay it on the 5th and you end up paying it on the 10th. That's still okay. You may incur some late charges from that creditor, but it's not going to negatively impact you on the credit report. However, if more than 30 days pass, then you will see this show up on the FICO score, and that's when you'll see your score go from a certain amount and start dropping. So you definitely don't want to get to that point. And what you really want to do is, with today's technology, and mostly every creditor, if not all of them, I haven't seen one that doesn't, but if you know of one, comment below. All of them have automatic payments. So at this point, there shouldn't be a reason why you are missing any payments. Again, if you miss more than 30 days, that will report. Then there's also a 60-day, then there's also a 90 days. So the more payments you are missing, the worse your FICO score is getting. Again, like I mentioned, this is 35% of your overall calculation for your FICO score. So pay on time, guys. This is extremely important. This is one thing you definitely don't want to overlook. As soon as you get that credit card, as soon as you know your due dates on your payments, set up automatic payment plans, and you will avoid this common issue that affects a lot of FICO scores. Number 2, the amounts that you currently owe. This accounts for 30% of the calculation for your FICO score. What that means is, if you have a credit card that's $5,000 credit limit and you use $2,500 of a balance, this is 50% usage of that credit card. That will have a negative impact on your FICO score, and you really want to work on staying away from that much usage on any credits that you currently have. What you want to do is stay actually below 10%, so ensure that the FICO score is looking great, it's increasing, and that your cards are not getting maxed out. I know with the holidays coming up, that might be quite a task, but if you have any other alternatives, look to not max out your credit cards this upcoming holidays. Number 3 is the length of credit history, and this accounts for 15% of your total FICO score. And what you want to see is that your credit lines that you've had open have been open for a long period of time. So that means that if you have a couple credit cards that you opened when you were in high school, a couple credit cards you opened in college, as the time progresses and you've been making your payments on time, and you've actually been on top of the balances and not going above a certain percent of usage, then this will help you increase your FICO score. It's very important that you keep these accounts as long as possible. So this shows the creditors that you are a responsible borrower, able to maintain a credit line for a long period of time. The 4th factor is new credit. This accounts for 10% of calculating your FICO score. And what this means is that if you are applying for credit cards, if you're applying for multiple credit cards at the same time in such a short period of time, this raises a red flag to the creditors, therefore to the people reporting the FICO score. And what you don't want to do is apply for multiple cards at the same time, because this is going to affect your FICO score negatively, because it shows that you might be having issues with maybe either paying or coming up with money. This gives a red flag to the creditors, and you want to avoid doing that. What really typically helps is having multiple credit cards, but establishing and opening over periods of time. So don't just do it all, after this video and start opening credit cards. I highly suggest you guys be careful with running your credit multiple times. One of the biggest questions I get is, when applying for mortgages, if multiple credits are ran, what effect does that have? And if you run it a couple times, it's not a big issue, but if you're running it many times, then you want to be careful, because that could have a negative impact on your FICO score. The last, or the fifth factor, is the type of credit that is in use. This accounts for 10%, and what you need to know about this is there's two different types of credit. There's going to be installment, and there's also revolving type credit. The revolving type credit means that you have a credit card and you have a certain limit, you pay it down, and you keep able to continuously use and load up this credit card. This means it's revolving because as soon as you pay the debt down, you're able to use that credit again. Now, on the installment loan, it's completely different. These are typically installment payments made on a set term with set amounts. That means, like, for example, if you have a car payment, you know, you're going to pay it off in 3 years, and they're going to be sending you payments that's amortized for a certain amount of time. These are installment loans. So now they will be looking, when it comes to determining your FICO score, if you're using both. This is why you'll hear people say, what if I get a car payment? Wouldn't that increase my credit? And yes and no, it depends on what your credit use is being currently. So what that means, you want to have, you know, not only regular credit cards that are revolving, you want to set up some installment loans or personal loans. And using both of these show that you are a strong borrower and that you could pay off these creditors, and your FICO score starts to look healthier and better. There you go, guys. That's the 5 factors that are used to calculate your FICO score. If you liked what you saw, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and share. Thank you for watching.